Yo, 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 we're back. Welcome to Talk of the Town. Let me get this right. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, welcome to Talk of the Town Tuesday night men's mental health, women's mental health support group. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sometimes we gonna go through that. However, I am now waiting for the host, Vic Coast, that do the most to tap in so we could get back to that. We was having a great conversation, great discussion about certain things, but I'm sorry once again for the technical difficulty. That's way out of our realm, so we back. Yes, sir. Peace, 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 everybody. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you. 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 Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to everybody that has tapped in. Peace and blessings to everybody who drop off and keep it pushing. Yo, that shit means a lot. Yo, real rap, real talk, real time. Y'all hearing it from the horse's mouth. I highly appreciate everybody, real. We can't do it without y'all. The host is now tapping in, so we're going to continue to get to that. Apologize for having my shit flipped up. I couldn't hear, so. Hey.
So we back. We
Yeah.
back with live Tuesday night, men's mental health.
So, moving along, because we was buried in conversation, kind of want to switch it up because that was the first half of, trying to, yeah. So, Coach, what I want to ask you is, so being that we are, 4 months into the new year, what do you say to certain people who is still stuck in the financial bind, those that has let that become still a burden within their life, instead of making the proper adjustments and things of that nature? Because even the finance and being living check to check, hand to mouth to mouth, however one want to put it, we got most of us got our taxes, we fucked that money up. What do you say to certain people who still dealing with financial difficulties, financial burdens, financial literacy, and how could we kind of detach that from the mental, and how could we kind of shape shift to, because all this stuff that's compounded on us, whether if it's the financial literacy, relationships, that we did discuss part of that prior to the technical difficulty, and how that could strain peer relationships, marriages, and things of that nature. So what do you say to those, that's 4 months into the new 26, most of us, we don't make New Year's resolutions and things of that nature, but just to kind of try to reverse the cycle?
Well, I would think first you kind of gotta look at patterns.
Okay.
And what I mean by patterns, it's an internal thing.
Okay.
There's nothing really, a lot of people ain't doing nothing wrong. Sometimes you gotta look back at your relationship with money growing up. Like look at when you first start making money, even look deeper than that before you start making money. How'd you treat it? What did you do with it? How was your mindset? What was those thoughts? Because those are the patterns that you built from when you were younger
Right.
into now. Because usually the person who was good with money, he was good with money when he was 10 years old. He was good with money when he was 12, 13, 14. It was just something they were skillful at, and mindful of. So sometimes you got to look at the patterns. Now that you're older, you kind of got to look at your spending habits, but it starts with your patterns, how you're spending the money. What was your thoughts when you get it? What are you thinking? What goes through your mind? You
Right.
know, I understand people want to save, but don't look at that now. Don't worry about the end goal. Just look at it from a perspective of mindset. How is your mind when you get the money? What are you thinking about? You thinking
Mm.
about the bills all day, every day? Now you need to process that and be like, I got to start from scratch. I make X amount of money. I have X amount of bills. I have X amount of habits. I have X amount of money. Now, when you tally all of that up, you have to look at what you have left. And sometimes I have nothing left. So you got to sit back and look at what you don't need. What careless moves did you make? What mindset were you in to make you spend this money? What triggered you? It's just like anger or mindset. What triggered your mindset to say, I'm about to go blow this money real fast?
Can I piggyback off of that?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it would take, in which I would just say what I would feel like, oh, I'm depressed, or looking for a way to spend it because I have, at the time, I felt like I had a need or want for clothes. So I probably would take not my last, but something that would keep me like below that average, you know what I'm saying? Because, oh, today I had a bad day, or I had an argument with my wife, or yo, fuck that. I'm Me and this nigga coach ain't see eye to eye, so I'm gonna take part of talking to town money and go spend 5 grand on some clothes and shoes and shit, like, you know what I mean? So sometimes a lot of that comes from being depressed or just the state of depression, the moment, the time. A lot of us could get caught up into that and feel like, maybe if I go buy myself this fucking couch and chair that I don't need, I would feel, you know what I mean? That's just how I see it. Because there's a lot of times where I could be bored, idle time, and I just want to go blow a bag.
And
You know,
then another thing is kind of, I think we as a culture need to be taught discipline. Discipline. We lack discipline.
mm,
And
speak
like,
on it. Speak
and
on it.
then we gotta start from scratch. So if after your bills and after your high and all your that, all your food, clothes, shelter, water bills and all of that, like Kareem said, and you got $73 left and you don't really have no wants or needs, put that money up. That's saved. You don't see that. Put that
It,
up.
it, it's hard to, but when you stay disciplined and strict, like,
But see, building discipline starts small. You have to start small. You
right,
gotta
right,
find your habits, your
right,
triggers. You
right,
gotta start eliminating things in your life. You
right.
know,
Absolutely. Add
like
on.
you need goals. You know, I always said try saving $1,000 if you can't save money. If you can't save money, if you feel like you can't, if you're broke at the end of each check, try saving $100 a week.
Now, now
Start small.
we say that to say this. If anybody begged to defer, then come on the show and elaborate on how we can do it. Share the jewels for some people that don't know how to save $1,000, $100 on how to save.
Because I
So
would
that's
say, you know, I'm gonna break it down in the easiest terms. Let's just say all your bills, I'm using fake numbers. All your bills are $100, and then your and that includes your rent and all of that. And then you have your clothes if you smoke your little weed and do all of that. Let's just say that's $100 too, right? and you make $25 a week. Out of that 25, you got to find a spot where you can just say, I have to save this amount, because you have to start with a goal, you know. So after you pay off all your rent and all of that, start with your goal. Like, yo, I save 30, I get $37 out of each check after I pay all my bills. So that's the goal right there, saving. You know, you got to start small, and you got to build discipline with little small wins, because there's no discipline without reward. That's why when people at the gym that have the best discipline, the reward is them looking in the mirror, going like that with their ribs and they showing off. That's the reward for the discipline. So you
Mm.
can't start something without a reward. You need to have a reward system, a goal system, to where you can even feel good about saving. Because a lot of people, saving hurts. It's like taking the money away, almost. It
Pulling
hurts.
it,
Yeah,
like
it's like
pulling
pulling a tooth. It's like losing money. It's like a nigga save $100, he lost $100 because he didn't get, because his mindset is off. You know, you kind of gotta take a deep breath and look at what you need, and be like, I don't need this right now. You got to be mindful of all the time, you know, because overly splurging is a lot of our problems, you know,
Mm.
and we carry it on and on and on. You know, we live paycheck to paycheck because a lot of times there's a lot of people who live paycheck to paycheck, but they live a good life because they save their money, and then they're mindful of their money, meaning they're still living paycheck to paycheck, but see, but they're not broke. They're still got money left to where they can do things because they're mindful. A lot of people, I think majority of the world is living above their means. That's why you hear people say things like, bump, $1 million ain't a lot of money. 100,000 a year ain't no money no more. And all of that. Because people, if you break down what they want out of life, you're above your means. You living above your means. You don't need that. There's so much things we don't need in life. And then we need to simplify. So you build a little discipline. Take $50 out of your check, save it. Smoke a little smaller blunts if you smoke. If you
Ride
buy,
around and get, hold on, ride around and get 3 grams like bump.
yeah, and if you buy a 12 pack, buy a 6 pack. If you buy a 6 pack, buy a 3 pack. You know,
Yo, that shit sounds so wild, but I really do that, yo. So again, if
so
anyone
there's a
is
lot of things you can do. Have a goal in life. Like, you know, if you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, sit back and save. You want things, you know. Have a goal. You know, be like, y'all want to have $10,000 by the end of the year. Get a little jar and just start throwing money at it.
do you have goals?
I always have goals, but you know, my goals as of now is just to be a better person. I don't really want too much in this life, because the worldly things I seen, it ain't too much in life in this world to offer anymore. But being a better person, because the more I be a better person, the better life get, bro. The better life get.
I see that. I,
because
I,
my
I
energy because my energy can vibrate, and now I can feel good wherever I go.
mm.
And then maybe I'm more inviting to do other things. But until then, I have to be a better person. You know, because I set little minor goals for myself, nothing major. It's just I try not to share my goals because, for one, I don't like to speak on something that ain't happened yet. And two, I'm real humble in the sense of like, I don't I don't want to feel like, I don't like to gloat. And I don't want to feel like, I don't want to make no one feel some type of way. You know, I'm always thinking about my peers and the people who I'm around and who I'm, you know, even though I might achieve a lot of things, my goals last month from apartment to one family home. That's cool. That's dope, Kareem. You know, and that's a success, you know. But it's kind of like I'm one of them people, I like to just keep my wins to myself. I keep my credit,
Congratulations on whatever it is, Kareem. And
you
I'm a
know.
big supporter of you, just like you are of Talk of the Town, and Coast as an individual, and me as your, an individual, your brothers. You know what I mean? So whatever goals, I'm hoping everybody stay strict to it because we all have them. But if we don't have goals, set some. If we don't have hobbies, get you some. But most important, a lot of us, we don't challenge ourselves. We don't challenge our peers. We don't challenge our mate, and it doesn't have to be a competition or a competitive thing to where it's like we can't help one another. You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
doesn't want to be challenged though.
Yo, if a person mentally don't want to be challenged, and I totally get why your relationships and where you are in life, and while most
That's
people are,
you're passing judgment.
I'm just saying though.
You're passing judgment. You
Who
can't.
doesn't want to be challenged?
Everybody don't want to be. Some people want comfort.
Mm.
Yes, you don't realize that. Some people want comfort. A lot of people don't want to challenge, and I don't knock them for that.
We find comfort in the wrong things though. But I
But
get
we're
it.
not. But see, but what I'm saying is we're not talking about that. A
Right.
lot of us challenge ourselves when they don't need to, because what do you need obstacles for? What are you bringing new challenges in your life for? That's new stress.
Challenges could come like
But a lot
I'm
of people look at it as stress and new obstacles.
to lose weight to challenges. Well, I get it. That's
You
for
can challenge yourself, but a lot of people see. I notice in America, a lot of people, like in our culture, we don't like to see comfort. We think it's lazy. We look at comfortability as lazy,
mm,
especially in men. Black man always got to be doing something. Even when he come off of work, he got to take out the trash, do this, do that. It's never a second where a nigga can just be comfortable.
especially when you're behind in life or just in general, like whether if it's
But being behind in life is only set on standards that you set for yourself.
I like that, and a lot of people needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Great.
So you set standards on yourself, and
And
now you're behind.
me per se, my standards are high. That's why I, even when I had to learn how to walk again, to running and working out and doing the things that I do, because I set a high standard. I can't be down here depending on Roz or certain situations to happen for me,
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. That
So
was me. What? It's only somebody just back.
when I talk about, credit scores and financial literacy and things of that nature is because when I'm taking myself out of corporate account and what I'm saying, outside the box, I have to use I statements. So yes, I do set high standards. I don't I don't have like that old father in the house to, what I'm saying. So like for me, I like it's just me. I'm trying to build that support system with Coach, Busy Road, Mike Bell, Kareem, Jarrell, few people, great men, great women, you know what I'm saying? But I to say, just speaking as far as me, don't put, you know, a standard on myself, like I'm challenging myself with goals. And like when I speak about the credit, I gotta kind of get off of that. But I'm setting standards because again, what I like, what I how I think is very high. It's not here, it's not here, definitely not down here. So my the bar that I set is high. So every day I gotta push myself. And if I feel like I fell or, where I'm fatigued or, you know what I'm saying, so I don't become lazy, I kick myself in the ass. I don't have a father or somebody like a Buck or Charles or Kels or, like, yo, today, you gotta do them legs, yo, you gotta stay motivated. I don't have that collectively in my corner. So I have to push. You know what I'm saying? I got to get that bar off me because I don't have a spot. I don't have nobody shopping with me. So my standards are set high. You know what I'm saying? That's why on Talk of the Town, I kind of maneuver the way I want when I say certain things because I have high standards. I see myself by the time and date I say September and this, that, and the third. And, it's just me being confident and giving myself that push. So, being confident in myself because a lot of people may not want what I want or want to see me where I'm going and have what I'm looking to get. So I take that upon myself. So that's when I come in and use the I statement, for sure. I have to set standards and boundaries and rules and regulations for myself and how my life is going. So yeah, that's when I use the I statements, that's how I like to use it. You know, and I can't speak for everybody else. If those, I don't know. That's part of having great discussion. And when we come in this realm where we can challenge one another, like whether it's something simple, let's use the jump on this, something like that. That's not a bad thing. That's I'm not challenging you to something that's detrimental to your life. Like, that might be me and manipulating the system and saying, damn, baby girl or sister or queen, like, yo, you kind of rough around the edges. So how do we come across and say, yo, maybe if we cut down and stop becoming rough around the edges, where we could feel good for oneself and not have to, you know what I'm saying, deal
But
with.
sometimes it's not our place to tell people that.
But that's where, again, I try to find a line of communication, whether it's my spouse or whomever. Like, I'm saying, yo, you jump rope today? Or, yo, come on, let's see who could, jump rope. I'm going to try it. Jump rope might not be my thing. So let me challenge you to see if I can do like 50 of these things.
But at the end of the day, that just sounds competitive.
It shouldn't, but sometimes we need to find a way to motivate and push one another. I could be wrong. Because in the conversation, it and I've been through this. In the conversation, that might sound like, oh, you don't, it's the master of manipulation is a motherfucker. So that's why we have to find different ways of communicating and you know what I'm saying?
Like, I know, I get what you're saying. What you're saying is right. It's just, you got the people on the other side that are comfortable. They don't like a challenge.
Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable in order to be comfortable. I mean, they make it like you said.
A lot of people, they're comfortable because they've been through the uncomfortable times. They've been through it. See, we can't judge what people go through. We don't do it here, but we can't judge what people go through. And a lot of people done been through a lot of shit where they don't want no more challenges. They want comfort and peace. They don't live 20 lives over.
You kind of sound like me when you say that.
Yeah, but they're not challenging themselves to do anything. They're just trying to live a comfortable, peaceful life. They're not inviting new stresses on. They have goals, but
I'm here.
is life about goals? Or is it life about living?
It could be both, because some people have goals that's like that, like we was talking about earlier.
I said you should always strive for a goal, but after a while,
That we was
That
having
stop. When does that stop? When does
but
that mindset stop?
we was having that conversation earlier about a millionaire, the billionaire, and it was like, well, when the fuck do you feel like
Because like I understand increasing intelligence because there's so much I can learn in the world. So I'm
right?
always seeking knowledge. So that's probably the only thing that I feel like I would never stop doing. I never get satisfied with learning things. But as far as challenging myself outside of that, I don't see, like, I have to see the purpose in it. It can't just be, oh, you want to live and stay healthy. And I do that, but it still has to be the purpose. I don't, I have to want to change. Like, I have to want to do that shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see people, you know, it's just they're like on the hamster wheel. They just got goal after goal after goal after goal after goal, and they keep running and running, and they're not really living life. On to the next batch, on to the next, on to the next. They're not really living life, you know? They're like, are they really enjoying it? Or they just appear, they want people to think they're enjoying it,
Mm.
you know? So they go on the trips and this and that and post and do the same thing on every trip, you know? So it's like, after a while, it's like, what? You start questioning, what is life about? Is it about achieving goals and obstacles? Is it about striving to become the billionaire or the millionaire to chase the bag? Like you really start thinking about like where do you fit in this shit? And how will it affect mentally me in the long run? Like where do I fit in that? Because people have, every like anything you achieve in life is a goal achieved. So people are always achieving something. But I notice there's a lot of people that don't want to do that. They don't have any goals. And then we kind of look at them like, what are you doing? They're living life. We just, we're so judgmental because we see life from our perspective. They see life from theirs. And then
Right.
it's kind of like 8 billion perspectives, because there's certain people that what they see out of life is what they get. They don't want no more than that. They don't really care about the world. It's weird, You have people that live like that on the planet. They don't really care about going places and doing things, and you know. So,
Yeah.
but I feel if you want to be disciplined, you need to set goals. Like discipline help goals help discipline because you have something to thrive for, something to be disciplined about.
Like me, could talk to me about that shit, man.
You know,
If I had it my way, I'd be trying to do things now instead of September. And believe me, every day that go by, that's hot, that's breezy, I'm like I'm pulling my hair out. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm just so used, like when the hustle, when I was able to, I'm just so used to snapping my fingers and having what I want. So this is a new profound thing for me right now, working on patience and the things of what Coach is talking about. Fuck, man.
because you need patience, but you got to set small goals, small little wins, small win here, because they pile up. It's like you stack it on it. Discipline is a big factor in achieving goals. That's the main factor. There's no goal achieving without discipline unless you cheating.
Mm. And I'm not cheating the system. I can't, man, the way my system and the blessings is set up, what God already has preordained, is set up for this. So I can't do nothing but just walk through it. Just walk through the doors, man. That's it. That's it.
Fuck that. If I gotta cheat the system, I'm cheating.
Man, if I could, I would, but for a person like me,
But
I
there is
gotta
no system for me to cheat.
listen. There's other people that could cheat the system and become successful and accomplish different things, but a person that's grounded and more in tune with righteousness and morals and principles and not taking shortcuts and cheating people and stepping on people and manipulating people. Like, see, that's me. So I'm cut from that cloth. So my walk is always going to be a bit harder, even with talking to town and rocking with coach. Like, it's not going to come like that for us. It's not, you know. But for the cheaters and the people that know how to manipulate and make it, you know what I'm saying? That's only for the now. It's no longevity in that. So I'm standing on that. You know, when you're doing it right, when you
This is
believing in the
America, bro.
and I'm just saying in general, when we're moving accordingly.
This is America. Moving
Speaking,
accordingly will get you somewhere. It gets you the love, the respect, and all of that.
so I'd rather get that. I'll rather move accordingly and do it that way than to do it the other way. And then people, you know, behind the scenes are just in small conversations because, you know, people who discuss people are small minded. Sometimes we could take it there, but it's only to live and learn by example from that individual when we have conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's never small minded when we're on that type of time and how we're utilizing conversation of such. But yeah, we're not gonna have it easy, bro. You know, that's why our road, even what we're doing, is going to constantly be rerouted, and you know what I'm saying. So
Well, at the end of the day, we not doing nothing hard either.
speak on it. I totally get that, but I want you to elaborate to the
We're
people.
not doing nothing hard. Like, we're coming from a place where, like, I don't know how people is viewing this, but we're not doing it for traction.
Mac attack, peace, King. Right,
We're
right,
not
right.
doing it for views. We're not doing it like the people that tune in, y'all are not fans. Meaning, like, we don't want no fans. Don't be a fan of me. Be a fan of what we trying to put together for the community, the message.
Talk to
You
him. The
know.
floor is yours, King. The floor is yours. Go ahead and put up a quick
So
13.
when I say that, I say when we don't need we're not looking for views. So when we have motion throughout the community. We may not have traction how you would look at a rapper and then you go to their videos because people be like, oh, Bump and Coast may not be doing nothing because they don't average this type of views or y'all like that's not how we're set up. That's not what this shit is about. It's not about views. It's about the message that we try to do on this Tuesday. You know,
Or
because
any, it's the message,
it's
not
the
just
message.
because
That's why
even
I always would say
go ahead.
irrelevant. I'm just a messenger. I'm irrelevant. So most people don't need to know who I am. Y'all will get to know who I am because I'm speaking about me on some real shit in my life. You go back into the shows, you can learn a little bit about me. You can grow with me and Bump. Meaning, like, whatever you knew about us from the day that you've seen us on the show, that person is no longer there. So come on a journey with us from now until, until the end because we're trying to create something new. And in return, we're growing into two new people that you have never seen before. And when I mean you, I mean the viewers. You guys have never seen Bump in this light. Most people who know me have never seen me in this light. We're trying to actively, physically change.
Talk to him.
You
Talk.
know, so
Things.
if me and him can change, we can spark a change in the community. I wouldn't care who watch. For the first 10, 15 shows, nobody was really watching.
Go
It was
for
me and him talking to each other.
it, sir.
And we don't mind it because we trying to push a message, a narrative in the community. It's just change. There's already a view of us, black folks, all 43 million of us. We know how they view us. Now we need to grab the narrative and change it. So Talk of the Town is here to change a narrative. So, we got some positiveness out of this shit. So now when you cut on, you see two positive niggas. And yes, I said niggas because I like that word, but it's positivity. That's what we promoting. We promoting positivity. We're not like I love ratchet shit. I love all of that shit. I love that shit. All the tea, the ratchet, the fighting. I love it, but I'm not promoting it. It's already there. It's everywhere. As soon as you turn on your phone, we don't need to indulge, and we don't want our viewers to come here and indulge. We want to be mindful of that. This is like a think tank for the community, so it might not always be built on mental health. It might be community issues that involve mental health, because we're about the community, and it's a lot of us. It like Brother Mackey said on the Sunday show. You know, it ain't it's talk of the town now, but it can be talk of the world. And I like that shit. Talk of the world, because we trying to touch everybody. It's 43 million. So it's a lot of us. It's a lot of connections in the world. And if we make a better community, we can really build and have something on our own and dictate our own narrative. So now kids can cut on the TV and see something good to look at and get
Mhm.
some type of knowledge, some type of information, get some type of jokes, a sense of community, even when you're watching it. Because now everything is fake reality. It's fake TV. It's scripted. It ain't real. Even reality shows was one of the illest shows when it came out because it was based on reality. Now it's scripted reality. It's a plot. It's backstabbing shit. They'll bring somebody from your past that you don't deal with, and they don't tell you it just for a reaction. It's all fake reactions. It's not even acting. So we're trying
Some
to bring it.
some people like Country Wayne would take it and make it into a black soap opera.
And I like that because you know why? Because we don't have black soap operas. And black people are some of the biggest endorsers of General Hospital, All My Children, and all them shits. So yeah, I like that. But we're not part of that. Meaning like we don't have to jump on the bandwagon. Not to say that he promote negativity. He's a comedian. But we don't have to jump on the bandwagon and promote negativity because we're not in it for clicks. If we was in it for clicks, best believe me and Bump would have already had the views. We know
Man,
what to say to get people riled up and
yo,
get people off their rocker. I
we
know
would
I speak and talk shit with the best of them. But
we came out swinging, talking about Sweat, Smooth. Man, there's so much shit that we know down to this day.
and
That
then and then it's just as a Tuesday night, he came to me with men's mental health. But when he came to me with Talk of the Town, the first thing I told him, I'm not with the gossiping. Cause it's already out there. These old head niggas get on these shows and the young niggas get on their show. And you know what they do? They dry snitch, they talk crazy, they talk about open cases, they talk about closed cases where people are trying to now they gotta relive murders and robberies. We ain't tired of hearing about that. We ain't tired about that. We gotta
ask,
start.
ask the question and then pause. And for whoever's tuning in right now, we need y'all in the chat. I need y'all to answer Coach's question because
We're
this is
not tired of hearing about the street shit. I understand it's there. I love a good street tale, a street story, but sometimes you gotta look at your peers in a positive light. And when they're doing positive things, jump on that shit. Quick.
So
Quick.
again, ask them that question and just pause so it could breathe and saturate with
Well, they don't have to answer my questions. They're not on trial.
I just need them because a lot of people again it's like, oh well, if it ain't that, then it ain't this. Like
Yeah, because that's how society.
listen, now the new thing is if you ain't doing what Joe and Jada doing, then that ain't gonna bring you the revenue. It ain't gonna like
Yeah,
we
like because Joe and Jada is a podcast. Noriega is a podcast. Like
talk to them.
we keep telling niggas, this is not a podcast. This is culture in motion. Meaning this is Talk of the Town Broadcast Network. We're broadcasting culture. Sooner or later, we will have actual shows on this network where y'all can tune in and watch and see your peers in a positive light, positive stories spoken about for the real niggas, for the niggas that was really there, that really did it, that don't have a voice and change their life, and now they living good and they want to bring some positivity back to the community, back to the youth. Cause I do it for the youth. I'm not speaking for nobody my age, bump age, 30, none of y'all niggas. Y'all are lost cause unless y'all get on your own high horses and go to your own little places and dig deep in with yourself. Now for the youth, I'm all for them. This message is for them because they're the ones that are in the streets 19, 18, 17 that can be saved. You never know. They can sit down, hear something, and might not do a bid. You know.
From talking to town, when you say here's something, meaning
Yes, from Talk of the Town. Because as long as we stay positive and we try to promote positivity and get people to speak on their mental health, because a lot of men don't want to talk about their mental issues.
when you summarize this segue up, I want to make mention of something, but go ahead. I didn't want to.
It's just a lot of people, a lot of men don't want to speak on mental health and a lot of other things that go along with just being a man. You know, we don't
Right.
want to be vulnerable. We hate that V word. You know, just like we say just like we say women hate accountability. Well, men hate vulnerability. And sometimes we got to take a page from each other. Sometimes we need to be vulnerable and they need to be accountable. And that's just how it works. A lot of us need that vulnerability and we need to open up with one another. Now we know how to deal with each other. Some of us don't know how to deal with each other. And we rather not because we feel like it's so many people out there. I could find a new friend. I've never seen so many niggas in the era not be cool with the niggas they knew from the sandbox.
Mm.
It just baffles me. Like the word day one is going out the window. Like that shit don't even mean nothing no more.
Niggas kill them for that. Like this.
Yeah. But that
So
shit used to hold weight, bro.
yeah, but
It meant
again,
something. It meant something.
yeah, principles and rules went out the window. That's why. But that's a whole nother topic for a better
What you
discussion.
was gonna say? What you was gonna segue to?
Um, to all my people, I want y'all, as you guys say y'all love me and infatuated of the things of what we can sit and reminisce, I want you guys to feel the same way within the whole with Talk of the Town. I want people to feel that, like the way certain people may feel, take that and flip it. Sit your kids down and be like, yo, this my man. The same way we could brag about one another to unknown people. I want to be a household name with Talk of the Town. And same for Coast. I want people to be able to sit down at the dinner table and discuss financial literacy with their kids or things what we know not that may be said or done in the show. You know what I'm saying? Love me enough to love Talk of the Town. Love Coast enough to love Talk of the Town to understand what this is for us, the people. And put it on in your house when y'all doing whatever y'all doing. Don't be afraid to put your lady onto it. Don't be afraid to put your kids onto it. And I don't never talk like this, but I'm so adamant because I know what direction and how fast and how we moving to get there. You know, and just by having conversations off the cam with certain people, I hear how you people speak. I hear how we speak as a whole, as a community, in which we're striving to build unity, to be able to unify. We got to push what we do in this agenda in our household. What I'm saying wrong isn't, what I'm saying isn't wrong. If you guys want to promote this and put this on in front of your kids and be like, yo, look, I went to school with this person. You know how we could, yeah. And build with your babies. Like this something right here that should be an in-house type of ordeal. You know, it'd be dope if people could sit down with their families and be like, yo, let's have a mental, let's put the cell phones away. Put the iPads and the tablets away. Yeah. The same energy that yeah. So let that become talk of the town. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want the praise and the glory for what once was. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's an old chapters. You know what I'm saying? So in the New Testimony, the new book, this is what we doing. You know, this is how we sit our kids down. This is how we start to connect. This is how we reconnect. A lot of us think we're connected by yeah, but we're really not. So let's talk to the town. If y'all love me, you know, love the show like how y'all love me. Love the show like how y'all willing to love Coast. And
Nah,
let that.
y'all ain't gotta love me. Love
No,
the show.
but I'm just saying because you
Love
do.
the show.
Okay. However, but what I am saying is,
I'm
love,
just a messenger.
but let the message get out. Do not be afraid to share. Like, I'm sure if we was up here name dropping and talking crazy, it'll be at least 4 to 5, 6 shares. To the people that name, even if we're not dropping names, the same people that you was willing to share, just share it. That's the way the message and the word is going to get out. That's how Talking Town is going to become powerful.
We like, to the people who share it, I love y'all. We love
Oh,
y'all.
of course.
Now, in so many words, not to step on bump toes, but the message gonna get out regardless. Cause we have a certain group that loves us.
But I just wanted to say that and be adamant about
You
this shit.
know, I don't like, and
People,
this is where me and bump heads. I don't care who shares. I wouldn't care if no one shares because we're doing our work. I don't want to say God's work, but when Jesus was, he didn't care who shared the message. He wasn't, he came to a group of people, told them, and he left. And it was up to y'all to share the message. If y'all did it, we can't make people share the message. You know, that's kind of like
you're right. You're absolutely right.
we can't make them share it. They got to be willing to share the message. Because, like I was telling you before, a lot of people are watching this, sharing this off the strength of you, off who you are. For the people that don't know me, and I get that, but understand what he was trying to relay. It's bigger than me and him. It's a message that we're trying to relay. So when he said, love me like y'all love the message like y'all love him, he means that. He truly means that. He stands by this message. Just like y'all say he stand on some other shit, he stands by the message. And with me, I'm just coming in as a messenger. I'm different. I'm not looking for love. I have enough of it. So I'm not being cold to the people because I know the viewers that stick with us every single time.
And we know,
So
trust.
I love those people, but I'm not on the love looking train.
Right.
I'm the messenger. I'm the nigga that I'm gonna give it to you raw and I'm out. I
Hey,
don't
coach,
have time to worry about people's feelings and
Big
how I
Lou,
perceive it.
Dizzy Rowe. Hey, coach, so going back to when somebody was like, "Oh, what you doing this shit for clicks and views?" Uh,
No, because it's a message. We're not like we're
Mel,
not.
what's good, Mel? Hey, coach, there she go right there. She just tapped in. I see you, baby girl.
This is not uh.
Peace,
This
peace,
is
peace.
not This is not a podcast. We're not doing this for views. This is a message of positivity. It's men's mental health. We're trying to get a woman's mental health show to jump off. We're not trying like let me ask a question to whoever's out there. We have a men's mental health show. In building that, if we were like, what does motion look like that to y'all? Meaning us making money off the message, of profiting off trauma. I don't know what it looks like to y'all, but I know what the message means to me. The message means to me is I'm going to use my ability, my life, my smarts, my wisdom of the last 42 years to the best of my ability to give y'all some a positivity. Because between me and Bump, we've been through a lot of shit and we have a lot of shit to offer. And we understand the community needs positivity. It needs a little guidance. So if we got to be the people to give it a nudge to guide this way, so be it, you know. Like they say, don't kill the messenger. They always do. They kill the messenger because the message hurt. The message be the truth and they can't take it. So they lash out on the first people. So that's why I kind of you don't have to, I don't want love because I want y'all to take the message and run with it. And
Right.
then we love y'all. The message of Talk of the Town is see a problem, find a solution. You know, that's the big overall thing. And we can't act like we ain't got unity. You know, I want to go back to the good old days when it took a village to raise a child. But now that the village is burnt down, you know, because we burnt the village down. Now we rebuilding. We're in rebuilding stages. But what people don't realize is we have to pick people one by one, hand by hand, personally,
And
invite them back to the village so we know who's who and who's what and who's down for the message, who's not here for clicks and views and drama of the streets or drama of who's fucking who or who's doing what with what. Because if you tune in here for that, you ain't never going to get it. Never. Not from me, at least. Because I'm so out the way, I don't even be knowing what goes on in my own city. I don't be at no functions, no nothing. Because I have my own little friend group. I have my own set of things that I like. I be away from a lot of shit.
don't do that, nigga. You if we that just cause you ain't that don't mean you can't and you won't know, nigga.
Nah,
Don't
I choose not to know. That's the thing. I choose not to know because minding
even
my business, minding your
even
business saves your minding your own business saves your life.
even when it comes to you,
I
okay?
choose not to know. I choose not to know. I don't want to know things that ain't that don't that I'm informal. I need informal shit. How is this bettering me?
Mm, I like that.
How is this information bettering me? And then if
Right.
it's something about me, you know what I ask them? What does that information do for you? What does information about me do for you? How does that make you feel? That you hold something of that about me. And if they
Or
can't really answer that, then I leave it alone.
right.
But
Or another person maybe even.
hmm, it really
Or
doesn't matter.
we're
It's
just
like
talking.
I gotta sit back from a mental standpoint and analyze this shit.
Mm.
So I try to stay out the way. I learned the best way to get off to get in your mental is to stay out the way. Is to stay out of people business. Create your own little foundation of business. You know, sometimes you can live in a bubble because a bubble is clear. So it ain't like, you know how they say you live in your bubble, you live in your own world. Well, a bubble is clear, meaning you can see what's going on out. You just live in your own little bubble. But when I look up, I see what's going on. That's why I'm in my own bubble. I don't like what I see. I don't like the little clicky shit. I don't like niggas that's 40 still clicked up. I don't like all of that choosing popularity. It's like a whole town full of high school kids. And then it's hard for growth because a lot of people are child minded. So in Talk of the Town, like I was once child minded. So it took me a long time to learn to it ain't about being adult, taking responsibility. It's not about that. It's about having a mindset of growth and looking at things from an adult standpoint. Because child ain't really trying to better themselves. They're trying to grow into themselves. Now we're here. I've already grew into myself. Only thing left is my knowledge and my community. That's the only thing left. It's my smarts and what I see, my environment.
Right.
So that's what Talk of the Town is about. Bettering the mind, because it's mental health, so we can better the community. Another avenue of Talk of the Town. So when you come here, you got to come here with a positive outlook. Come here with solutions, because we're not here to debate. You know, a lot of shows are kind of like ours, and then they debate what goes on in the community, and it's all cons, cons, cons. There's no pros. There's no solutions. It's just cons. And then it's kind of draining because you cut it on and it's like, damn, you hear the same old rhetoric. Black people can't get along. We can't do this. We can't do that. Then after a while, it's like, I don't want to hear that no more. So I want to come to a place where a nigga may cut Talk of the Town on and be like, damn, those niggas talk about some real shit. I want to tune in. And it's real shit that's happening in the community. And when I mean the community, I mean West Main, Custer Street, Conab. I mean all over from the next 3 cities, you know. But I mean community, I mean something that you can touch. I mean like your neighbor, like somebody you know, somebody
We,
you've walked. Like,
we should still be able nowadays, and which we don't, to put down that pride in certain things because a lot of us are struggling. I'm just speaking about what I see around my area. There are kids that, they may have a roof over their head, but they be hungry. There's kids out here that's, so instead of talking about Samantha kids and they ain't got shit and this, that, and the third, get to know thy neighbor. We may not have to love, and I say this a lot, the saying is love thy neighbor. We may not have to love them, but get to know them. Again, don't shun me or come out your house like I'm the bad guy. I may be the one to perform CPR on your baby or your father or your mother or, whomever it is when you come running out the house. So, but by you, seeing me along your travels, turning your face up, whomever, because we do this within the community. We act like we're bigger and better than one another, and you drive this car, and you might see me walking. Everything is built on perception too. But let's just get back to getting to know one another because you never know. I remember when we used to be able to go to Aunt Becky's house and get sugar, a couple of boiled eggs because we don't have something to go with the ramen noodle soup for tonight or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get off of that and kind of tuck that pride to the side, whether it's men and women. And this is how we again start to build unity in the community. You know what I'm saying?
that comes with family.
Yeah, I want to be able to, because I have a bag of giveaway, whether it's sneakers, clothes. I want to be able to give it to my neighbor or to the kids that I see running around here. But if it's going to cause confusion and all of this other stuff, that is because we're not willing to get to know one another again. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got to
So
bring back family value, family
change.
structure, family value. And it ain't just blood. It's just, I'm talking about how family value and structure is ran. As, you know, that's how society, like how we look out for family and how family should be. That's how a community should run. Because,
Damn well you work all night, but you got the kids in the house and they got to defend for themselves.
because that's how the system set it up.
Yeah.
The
But I'm
system
saying
set that up.
once we tap back in, and then you have and anybody who lived on Henry Street back in the 80s, when 88 Henry Street was the shit, you had the Inez's, you had the Uncle Buddies, you had the old woman that sat on the porch and watched everything and made sure, shit in the neighborhood was right. I can't stand Inez. She always on the porch. I can't throw rocks and get away at these niggas, the Powells. And I used to be one of them niggas. So this is why I'm speaking about that. Like, you see the woman on the porch all the time. She don't miss nothing. And that be the same woman that'll tell your mom, yeah, JJ was cutting up today. And then they done tightened you up, but you won't get that ass whooping when you get home.
You know what happened?
You
It
know,
builds resentment. Those same kids built resentment. So when they became adults, they turned around and looked at you, bump. Don't say nothing to my daughter. Don't say nothing to my son. These my kids. Because there's a lot of resentment, you know? It's a lot of resentment in that age gap thing. That's why the system did that. That's why old can't get along with young. That's a slavery thing, but it's a resentment thing.
but you
That's
want to know
why.
something too? See,
Mhm.
like, I want to use the current show that we aired on Sunday. I want to use that as an example because for some reason, I get what you're saying, but when we don't listen to one another and willing to accept, okay, bridging the gap, you know what I'm saying? We have to bridge that gap. So we just can't overlook the gap that's broken.
We have to acknowledge our flaws. It starts there. Remember what I was saying? When you telling a story, you have to start from the bottom. Meaning,
Speak,
when you tell your story, you start from the L's. You start from the losses. If you a street
the,
nigga,
the elements of the community. I love that, Kareem. That is well put. Those little things are the elements, and once those
yes.
elements are taken out, the nutrient,
And
the
that's why I said we
vitamin.
burnt the community down,
Right, right,
took
right.
the elements out. We
So my
became independent
right,
of
right,
the community
right.
because we became a ruleless society, meaning, you know, we don't want authority from our own people when other people outside, it's lead by example. So when my generation sit back and look, there's no good examples. And then we're the kids that had to grow up fast, just like you. You're from that era. A lot of us are the crack baby kids.
Mm.
So we grew up different. There ain't a generation that grew up like the kids that were born in 80 to 89.
Right,
Because we grew up, a lot of our parents were on drugs. That's when that's when no fathers was in the house. Like that generation seen a lot. So we have a lot of resentment and judgment towards people your age and older. We're the ones that burnt the community down. And now that we're adults, you can't tell us how to raise our kids. Can't tell us nothing. because y'all then set an example for us to lead by. That's how we look at things. We look at it as, what have you, look, you out here in the corner with me, nigga.
Right.
So how you gonna tell me how to raise my kid when when my brother went to jail 4 times? Your son or your daughter got 19 kids. Now you gonna tell me you failed? That's how a lot of our generation look at the parents. They look at their own life. They look at their cousin's life, their brother's life. They look at the adults and they say, "Well, y'all failed us," and it's a lot of resentment because it ain't failure. I don't look at a. I would never look at my mom and say she failed. That's some crazy shit. But there is a lot of resentment because their life ain't panning out how it should be.
At one point in time in my life, I can definitely agree. I could take a quote from that. When I was angry and I'm like, yo, my cousins who older than me, they 60, because they from
Yeah,
50 to 60, my
it's the
older
same
cousins.
thing. Each 10-year group, 12-year group going through
Like,
the same problems.
so I definitely feel like that because before I tone it down and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a nigga that be like, man, fuck my brother. Like, yo, y'all niggas ain't show me shit. Then that's when I get on the old school niggas. I
And
don't
then
want to
and
drop
then
me.
and to bridge the gap, see, to bridge the gap, we gotta meet each other in the middle.
They fumbled the rock. They were supposed to give me the jewels. So now I'm not owning up to my shit when I'm saying what they didn't give me because I'm my own man. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm still
And
looking for the lessons and shit to be handed down, knowing that shit ain't, you know what I'm saying? And here I am saying, oh, because of these niggas is why shit is the way it is, and then
it's just a
I'm,
back and forth when in reality y'all have to meet each other in the middle.
but again, this is why I'm striving to take my approach because the more I can learn and get more out of what I'm putting into, then that will help me bridge the gap with them, with the ones that you know showed me my little shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not like the
But you
ones
gotta come into the situation humble and admit where you went wrong too.
nigga. If I don't do that now, then I don't know where I'm going wrong.
Because a lot of people don't. It's a two-way street. You gotta admit, like, to bridge the gap, you gotta meet in the middle. So I gotta tell you how I feel and what I feel like, how you made me feel, and
And I
then
have
vice versa.
to no, but too, Coast, I have to be willing to listen and accept, like, okay, damn, you feel that way? Because respect goes a long way. So if I'm not respecting your feelings,
Well, you have
like
to be willing to listen, but you don't have to accept shit. I'm not expecting acceptance. Remember that. It's just something that if we're gonna bridge the gap, it's just something that we gotta get out in front. And if you don't accept it, you damn sure have to get past it. See, and that's where we can't bridge the gap because we're worrying about accepting apology. No, get past the shit, nigga. People that can't get past to bridge the gap, and then they hold resentment and they hold resentment turn to revenge because now you feel like you did me wrong. Now that's how I feel because all that resentment I'm feeling now you did me wrong. So I want revenge. I want you to feel how I feel. So all of them misery, all of that bottled in because we're not meeting halfway. We're not acknowledging people and just trying to get past. We have to get past things to move forward. It's like an obstacle, something in your way. You have to get past it to move forward. Now, if you accept it, you know what that means? The journey is over. Nobody can move forward. But the problem ain't over. Y'all just right there. So it's like y'all are not gonna acknowledge the rock right there.
right,
So y'all like not gonna work. So to bridge the gap, we gotta work together. So we gotta acknowledge our losses. Meaning, y'all were fucking up, we was fucking up too. Now somehow we gotta come to some common ground to move forward as someone who's your generation, who's born in the 70s, or people who's born in the 60s, to people who are born in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So we can move forward and think of solutions to keep the bridge going. Like, what can I learn from you? What can you learn from me? You know, there's
Right.
things that I can learn through wisdom, and there's things that an older person can learn through youth. Because there's a lot of youthful things that older people choose not to learn, and vice versa. There's a lot of wisdom that young people choose not to take because they're looking at status. You know, they're blinding status, money with smarts and intelligence. You know, sometimes wisdom comes from the dumb nigga, meaning the bum nigga I meant to say.
Right.
Sometimes the wisdom comes from a dude on the corner
Right.
that
Right.
ain't
Right.
got shit, that got less than you. He's just been around the block and he's seen the path that you on. And that's the beauty of older people like Bumpy and older people that tune into the show. Sometimes the younger fellas, that's if y'all listening, that's under my age and my age, they see paths. It's almost like in the world they can see paths because they've been on so many roads. So they'll stop and they look at you in your life and see the path that you're on because they've been on that same road. They done drove that road up and down. So take heed to what they say to you, young nigga. Take heed. They've been on that same road. You seen them on that road. They was coming back while you was going forward. And they was telling you, bro, you don't want nothing at the... If they tell you that, hop off that road, take another path. For real, take heed to the wisdom.
Right.
Older guys, take heed to the youthfulness, and another way of thinking, you know. Don't be so... Always remember, some traditions ain't good. Don't be locked. Like, we got to learn how to think out the box and get stuck in our ways. Sometimes a youthful mind can spark an older mind to look at things from a different perspective. Because in order to build the village, it needs a younger person and an older person to build. Me and Bump are two different eras. Two different eras. But in order for this shit to work, these eras got to get together and work together.
And
That's
know
how
how
it
to
works.
communicate. And know how to communicate effective.
And
And
yeah,
we
know how to communicate. And that's what the whole community, like I said, communication is something we lack in this community. We got to learn how to communicate. We can't be looking at status.
right. We have to be mindful of each other's feelings too. We just can't be like, yo, it's this way and fuck them niggas and if niggas don't do it this way, then we can't do that, man. We can't. That's
Because
not the way to teach, man. That's not the way to
there's
teach.
there's there's
Kids,
only one way to live, and it's the right way. And all of us as an adult, we don't have to... There's no, like, there's a map in the road to live the right way. We all know it. We gotta stop acting like we don't know it. We gotta stop fronting. That's what the Bible says, free will. That's what we're exercising. If y'all believe in that, the reason why you in the world is the way we is, because niggas is exercising their free will. They don't want to live right. We know how to live and what to do. Some of us have all the answers and still can't make the moves. Still can't get out of the rut. Because it takes a community. It always have. It takes a team of people. Like when a nigga come up and he read his Oscar, like when a nigga read his Grammy, what does he say? He shout God, and then he think a list of people.
yeah, the Grammy speech.
Grammy speech. He shout God and list a list of 1,000 people, because it takes a team in anything you do. You know, me and Bump have people behind the scenes working for us, whether promoting, sharing, you know, praying for us. It takes a team. So when we build this community, we're gonna pick people hand in hand. Meaning, like, we want good people to be around for Talk of the Town, to where we need ideas. Great minds think alike. We need innovative ideas, young and freshness.
Talk to them, Coast, and
You
let them
know,
know.
we need other people. We're looking for women hosts. We want women shows. We want a women's Sunday. We want to do skits. We want to put the hood on. But it takes y'all to be willing to be down with the information, meaning like willing to be positive, willing to put your adult pants on, willing to work with one another, willing to not judge because somebody's too dark or too fat or broke or they a janitor or whatever. Put all the colorism, the all that stupid shit aside, classism, and move forward to a bigger thing because if we do this and we build a community and we get the right message, you know what happens then? Then we can start talking about what everybody wants to talk about, the money. Because when when you're doing something positive, you will be rewarded. I don't care
Right.
what I don't care what you do, you will be rewarded. And we're not up here, I say this on the umpteen shows. I don't want nothing. Me and Bump don't want $1 from y'all. If I ever throw an event, it will be free. Free food, free liquor, free marijuana, free whatever. I'm not into charging the people that I'm amongst. I'm amongst y'all. I'm in the rut with y'all. I shop at ShopRite with y'all. I go to Target with y'all. I do the thing. I'm in Stanford with y'all niggas.
And in North Carolina, I shop at Food Lion, Lidl.
I'll take no. I think I'll take one. I'll
Costco
take
card.
one. Hmm? Yeah. So it's we just trying to build one community, one at a time, one person. It gotta be handpicked. You know, this type of village that we build in, like I always say, it's 43 million of us. It may be only 5 million black folks that's really down. That's really down with better in their life and better in they self. The rest might be stuck in the system and just love the way they living. You know what? I can't knock it. I only can speak for the people who want to see change and see a better, like, I'm all about the narrative. And if you ask anybody outside our community that what they think of us, that's the narrative I'm trying to change. I probably can't change it, but I want to make it so it's undeniable that you have to acknowledge it. Cause we got some good people, Black folks, we got some good people. We not just basketball players, rappers, and dancers and entertainers, and we much more. We are the heart and soul of this country, and now we got to start acting like it and showing each other. We got to get tired of showing white folks and then what we gotta start showing each other we can do this shit. You know, like we gotta put on for one another so the babies can see it. Why you think we voted for Obama? And they got us to vote for Obama, and nobody ain't know no policies, no nothing. We was out in droves. Niggas was when I was there. Niggas was rolling dice and smoking weed in the line and just excited because he was black. Now we gotta take that mindset and build it up for one another in the community. I'm not saying, oh, he's a black. No, we got to be there for one another just because. And then everybody got to be handpicked. You can't let nobody infiltrate and be around you that want to cause havoc and false promote and false profit and lie and steal and thieve and don't be around with the program or nobody can't check this nigga background. Meaning, like, I don't mean no street shit. I'm just talking about what are you about? Background. Have you watched the show? Are you about the message? What are you about? You
Right.
know? Because it's
Yeah,
beyond street shit. People,
right.
like, we're beyond that shit. That's a chapter in everyone's life who was in it want to leave it. If you took a street nigga right now, so you want to leave the streets right now, and we'll pay for you to leave, he's out. He's gone. No matter what level it is, if he can, if it's enough money, he gonna leave. So we trying to change the narrative, make it cool. I want to be cool to be positive, cool to be smart, cool to think about your mental, cool to be vulnerable, cool to be warriors, cool to know when it's time for war.
Cool to feel comfortable in your skin and be you.
Yes, yes, cool to be
Cool,
you.
cool to spread love. Cool to,
Appreciation.
yeah,
Yes.
let it be cool to say, yo, peace king, peace queen. Yo, if you guys or whomever is out there watching that, yo, utilize what I'm saying and watch the reaction one will get, man. When you when you come to somebody with peace queen or peace king, say that to somebody who haven't even heard it, a young man, and you don't know how much power you just gave him. A young man whose will is broken, confidence is broken, who probably hear you ain't shit, you're gonna be like your father, just wild negative stuff. But when you come across people in different walks of life, just share that light of positivity and watch, man. I promise you, man, especially early morning when we going to get our coffee or donuts or bagels or whatever. Just go about your day like, yo, I'm gonna address everybody. Like today, I'm gonna just be like, yo, fuck it.
Yeah,
And
I
watch,
need to learn to do that. I need to learn to do that because I'm gonna be honest. I don't speak to nobody.
yo, I'm telling you, your energy, your vibe throughout the day will be so crazy because what you putting out is what you destined to get back. And what you don't get back, it'll allow you to see it like, damn, like I,
I don't really speak. It's like I don't want to be. You know, well, that's just who I am. I've accepted. I don't like to talk. You got me out of the relevant. Like I'll speak with niggas that I am, but in public, if I don't know you, I don't really have too much to say. I may say good morning. I may say that, but
welcome to Talk of the Town. We strolling to pass the time. We got started a little late, so you know, um, we will roll over a little bit over, just to make up for that time. But Coach, if there's anything you want to say before we begin to start to
I
wrap
just
it
want to
up,
say we are not a podcast.
any promotion, right? We're not a podcast.
And we are actively looking for a woman co-host. Now, when I mean actively, we could be doing more to look for a woman co-host, but it's kind of tough because it's just bringing somebody aboard. It's just tough. But I'm talking about for the viewers out there, if you know somebody that's interested in being a part of what we got going on, we have slots and things for you that you can be a part of because, you know, Talk of the Town's only going to expand. We only want to deal with like-minded people. So if you know any women, any men that want to come on the show, talk, be a part of something bigger than them, because this is bigger than me. That's why I keep telling y'all, I'm just a messenger.
And
You
it's
know,
definitely bigger than me and my reputation.
that's probably gonna be my new name, Coast the Messenger, because I'm I, that's all I'm here to do. I have a message to relay. I
Like
don't
that.
want I don't want people to get too stuck on who I am, because who I am is irrelevant unless I'm talking about me and you watching the show.
I like that. So now I gotta remix some shit. The messenger who don't like to be messy. The
I don't
messenger
like
who
to be messy. I'm not a messy messenger. I don't like gossip. I don't
yeah.
like to know other people's business.
Now I gotta recook this nigga name. He done
I'm
changed.
one of them people that don't call me about someone else because I don't want to know. I like, don't tell me your secret because I'll probably tell you I don't want to know because I don't, because I ain't got shit to tell you.
Now,
Cause I'm an open book.
I'm a little bit different. I might hear the mess. I might hear the stuff and stuff. So I'm a little different. I might
I don't be
answer.
wanting to know. Yo, when niggas be telling me shit, my face be like, word. All the time. You can't see my face, but it be like word. Cause I don't be knowing. I don't be knowing niggas baby mama who dealing with who. That's what's the name, son? Word. Yo. Cause I try to stay out of the way. I purposely try to stay out the way. Cause I live in Stanford. It's a small town. Everybody know everybody. And if they don't know you, they know your mama. If they don't know your mama, they know your aunt. They know your uncle. I don't like that. But I love it because it's a community. It's a tight knit community still, you know. But for the talk of the town's sake, we are not a podcast. I'm gonna always say that
What are
because
we?
I don't want y'all to get this misconstrued with a podcast.
So what are we? Again,
And don't send him no raps or no freestyles or nothing. Oh yeah. I don't.
oh,
Okay, I don't. I I don't like raps.
oh
Even
shit.
like people
You
that
like
rap,
okay, you
like you know
stuck
how
like
people send me memes of people that rap and stuff.
she wild sneaking out in there. She
I
wild.
don't be wanting to hear none of that.
I like that, big girl. You
Martin and X. Yeah, brother Martin and X. Hell yeah. But
Malcolm
see,
X,
you
man.
know, I'm not. I'm a mix of both because I like Martin Luther King, but I don't believe in turn the other cheek. You know, I'm not a turn your other cheek ass nigga. Never have, never will be. You slap me once, I'm gonna slap you back. That's just, I'm not giving you the other cheek to slap.
You slap me
That's,
once, you gotta slap you out like two, three times, cause that shit might bring me back when my pop slapped me for no reason when I was a young nigga. I ain't know no better.
but to address what somebody said in the comments, please don't send me nobody that rap unless it's for the show. It's for the show. But in reality, I don't, like when I mean rap, don't send me like Remy Martin or Papoose verses. I don't be wanting to hear nobody. I be wanting to hear niggas around the way for the show because I'm trying to put on for the city. But I'm not. I don't like to critique rap, so don't send me a rap song because a lot of people do that because they know I rap, so they send me a rap to see
Well,
if it's good or not.
you said you was trying people out for
Yeah,
the.
but I'm talking about bigger, like I'm talking about bigger name rappers.
Uh,
Or if anything, like even when we do the show and they come on the show, that's for y'all to critique, the fans. I'm not critiquing nothing. And what did I get X? If he was still alive when the decided to move different. Now, see, the thing about Martin and Malcolm, they both made mistakes. They're human. Now, 90 years later, we fought these niggas for making mistakes. Martin acknowledged that he made a mistake about segregation. I mean, integrating, and we should have stayed segregated. He made a speech about that. He talked about how those marches put innocent black people and gave them records when he knew that what was going to happen. He put them in danger. And you know, and when you speak on Malcolm, he made a mistake too. He spoke on Nation of Islam out in public in front of the white man, so the white man can, and that he should have kept it in house. I didn't really say that, but I don't know what you're really saying. All I
so
know is this: they're
so
two
Kobe,
great men, and you know they did what they did with limited resources. You know, these two men came up in a time where they were hanging black niggas in suits, getting in good trouble. Yes, And good trouble is good trouble. So, but we got a little off track because we was trying to end the show, but I have no problems with it. Malcolm and Martin were good men. They came up in times with limited resources, and they made what they did, and they made a stand. We still talking about these two dudes still to this day. So whether people don't accept the moves that they made, we gotta realize Martin Luther King was young. These were young men. Bump is older than both of those men, I think, before they died, if I'm not mistaken. So you gotta look at it like that. I think they died at my age in their 40s. Probably younger than that. I
Yeah,
don't know how old they were, but they were my age.
yeah, my,
Young men.
yeah,
So you got to look at when they started. Those were young Panthers. Those were 21, 22-year-old men. Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, they were little boys. That's what we call little boys now. 22 is a little boy. That's what that in this day and age now, we call them little boys. They were little boys starting the breakfast program and all of that stuff. So it's it's it it's an accomplishment. It's a path that I wouldn't mind jumping on and taking.
right.
No, because they were about the community, and I want to be about the community more because it needs characters like myself that's gonna speak on things that I feel like need to be spoke on and learn how not to speak on things because I come from a different background than a lot of people. I didn't go to jail. So, most people that get on these things, they talk about street life and all that. I was in the streets heavy, but I just didn't go to jail. So I speak from a different perspective. I speak from a civilian's perspective. And a lot of civilians just don't get that recognition. They don't get that voice because people look like, oh, you never did nothing. No, but my mind is just as needed as yours.
Mm.
And that's what people need to realize. The civilian mind is needed just as much as the reformed thug. You know that's where that gap need to get bridged too. You sometimes you gotta let the civilian be and let the thug be the thug and work himself out and work his ways out. He'll get there eventually. We can't be
Mhm.
too harsh on them. They, like you said, they're rough around the edges. We got to meet them at their level. You know. And we can't look down on the 9 to 5 worker, the middle of America person, because they're the backbone, the fabric of the country. The person that's putting the fries in the bag, the person that's changing your brakes or the things we take granted for, you know, the lady that's at Target bagging the groceries, you know. Most of them people that like I go in Target, they 50, 60 years old bagging groceries.
Fighting against the system because shit, if they could have automated baggers, they would. So
They
they
would.
fight
So we
for it
can't. Some so
too.
and then we because convenience will steal from the human. Everything convenient. The more convenient we get, the more lazy we get, the more obsolete we get. In reality, they just want us in our house, just filled up with food and gadgets, and not leave the house. That's why in the beginning I encourage people to go outside. We encourage people to get on the trail, go be with nature because it's beautiful out there. And the way the world works, they keep everybody stuck in the phone, stuck in the iPad, stuck with the ear pod, just disconnected from reality. That's what I'm starting to see. More, I'm do it too, So more and more of us becoming disconnected with reality. We need to start connecting with one another. Like Bump said, sometimes we need to put the phones in the bag, put the shit in the bag, the iPhones in the bag. And I come from a time where I had to sit at the dinner table with my whole family and discuss what I did in school, and they would ask me tough questions at 9 and 10 years old, and I had to eat my food and say please and thank you and no elbows on the table and have manners. and I had to
Not,
eat everything.
not slouching on the
Not
table.
slouching on the table or none of that.
Not all that. I don't want to. I
And
don't
now
want
that I
to
think about that, that
because we're so used to Chick-fil-A and you don't want to eat this. What the fuck do you mean? You don't want
yeah,
to eat this?
and I come from times I'm like the
Well,
older
you
people
didn't
can
eat that
relate.
on. You have stuff from my table and go upstairs.
Certain things we take it granted for growing up, it shaped us better in this non-social world, meaning we
Right.
don't socialize in the real world. When I was 13, I had to call a girl house. I had to talk to their mom, their dad, whoever picked up that phone. I knew it wasn't her. And you had to be ready for some adult to ask you some adult questions. What are you doing with your life? How's your grades?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you had to have small talk just to get to the girl.
Yeah.
Socialize. That's
So
why a lot of us are good in social.
that's
So we
called
need to get back to getting social skills. And
right.
as adults, we got to start showing the kids it's okay to put the phone away and talk amongst another. Find out who, like my niece and her friends sit here on the couch, right? And they texting each other. They sitting there, they on the same couch, laughing. Instead of talking to it, they're texting each other, sitting next to each other. And it's like we got to start going back to that. As older people, we got to show them that we can put the phones away and have a good fucking time,
Family time.
family time. You know, and let me see that report card time. What did Miss Johnson, your social studies teacher, say? Time.
So,
What do you want to be when you turn 17 in time?
so what Coach is saying, we have to learn how to detach from the devices and reconnect in real life.
Yes, because there's nothing social about social media. Because we're not really talking to nobody. We're not really being social. We're just sharing fucking pictures and we're commenting. We're not having full conversations, intelligent conversations. There's people that get up there and talk intelligent, but they're not engaging with nobody. There's a little rebuttals here and there, but we need to be more engaging. There needs to be like a day where everybody just go back to living, put the phones away, go outside to the park, and just have conversation. No phone day, national no phone day, or a national no social media day. Because I
Now,
can't say no phone day.
now with that being said, let me piggyback. I guarantee you guys will see where your parenting skills if you brought that shit to the table. You will really see where your parenting skills at if you bring that to the table 2 times a week. That within your household, we pay all of the bills. No phones and all these devices is wanted in here. This is what it's going to. Now you will see where we lack with the
But see, as a
parenting.
parent, see,
That we our kids like we're so take the device.
I don't fully wanna blame it on that because it's kind of like
But we will see where we're at as a whole. I wouldn't give a fuck about that. I'm just saying then we could really sit back and see where we are at as a whole, as individuals, where we think we are. Because if you come and implement that, they'll be like, "Man, like you bugging. What you mean? I
but
can't
you
have
also now you have to implement something else.
that's yeah, because that right there is a
Because
big
what people and then what our generation, the older generation fail to realize, they don't know how powerful the fucking TV was. TV was just like the phone. Some of us was just that sat right in front of the TV and their moms went upstairs to go smoke and drink. And that's just how a lot of us was raised for the last hundreds of years. So we can't act like, oh, now it's like we were all outside 24/7 because that's a lie. Those are lies. We
right.
and that's where we bridge the gap. We got to stop lying to ourselves. talk about our faults and what really happened to meet people in the gap. TV raised a lot of people. It raised a generation of people. Parents were sitting their kids right in front of the TV, just how you give them the iPad.
But it wasn't so
It
much.
was. It was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It was. It was. Why do you think on punishment they had to take people TV away? Yeah, it was. Take the phone and TV. They've been not. They've always had devices. It's just parents got to be more creative nowadays. So if I take away the phone and the tablet, what am I gonna put in replace? I'm just gonna have them sit in the house in silence. I'm not gonna do that to them.
When the other parenting skills, and that's when we
Yeah,
have
now you got to think of creative ways of engagement. That's all. What's
game night, different hobbies,
you
being
know?
creative, being
That's
colorful.
all. That's all. Nothing ain't wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing ain't
I
wrong with that.
mean, here's the solutions. I mean, if we're talking about it, I'm just throwing different
Yeah, nothing ain't wrong
solutions.
with that. But I don't always blame. I'm not. See, I can't put all the onus and blame on the phone like I did in the internet, like I always do. I can't because a lot of times, you know, it's the parent. It's not the phone. So a lot of times it's the parent. A lot of times, your kid can be failing and you think it's the phone and you take the phone away and they still failing because it's you. You don't
Mm.
have the patience. A
Or
lot of parent,
or structure.
it's patience.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Patience with patience comes, structure. Because patience, you're seeing things now. You having patience. A lot of parents, they getting off from work, they kick their feet up, they got their little spliff, you know, but they son been home since 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So what now, that's where the patience come in. Now you can't even unwind. You gotta go check the book bag, overlook the homework, you know. Go ask him what he learned. Make sure he's straight. That's a must. Those are things that a lot of parents are lacking. Just the small little things. We can't expect because all of parents they get this notion that my kid's smart. My kid's smart. So you stop parenting them. I seen it. I don't have kids. So I'm speaking from outside the box. I watch parents fill their kid up with this notion of my kid's smart, my kid. So they stop parenting. And then when their kid prove them wrong, they want to blame the kid. No, your kid ain't as smart as you thought it was because you're not doing the work and the parenting and overlooking the homework and checking this and making calls and making sure they doing this and helping them with their progress reports and all of that. You always had to be hands on. And I think we don't have the patience for it because we got to work and we want to unwind. And now so many single moms. So now she got to come home and be super fucking woman. She got to cook, clean, wash, tend to the kids, and find time for herself. So I get why a lot of us is in that rut because there's a lot of things built on the kids. It's a lot of things built. Some parents do have the energy come from work exhausted or they just don't, yeah, they don't have the time. Some parents do have the energy, they just don't have the time. But see, this is where bump comes into play. And you got to make the time. You got to push through this shit. You got to want it. You got this little kid here. All they going to do is talk shit about you. They ain't never going to talk about the kid. When the kid life fucked up, they look at the parent and you become the bad person for the rest of the time. Now you got to deal with entitled, an envious child, a child that don't like you because you fucked up. This
A rebelling child, right?
rebel. That's the word I was looking for. Rebelling child, because you didn't. Because I don't like. I'm one of them people. I can say I don't care because I don't have kids. So I can say you gotta do whatever it takes. You brought this kid in the world. Now you gotta make the time, or the child suffers. It ain't nothing but do it or excuse when it comes to a kid. There's no there's no exceptions. There's no grace. It's either you get it done or you making excuses. There's no in between. It's a kid, it's a child. They're innocent. And you know that famous saying I hate when kids say, "I ain't next to be here." But they're right when they say it. I hate hearing that. I would never
Hey,
tell my parent. I
hey,
hate hearing that shit. I ain't
hey,
next to be here.
Coach, not to cut you off. We was having a conversation today, and I couldn't speak on something that I wanted to, but make sure you remind me so I could talk to you about this after.
Hmm.
All right, I want to get this off. Yeah,
Yeah, but a lot of us, a lot of kids say that. I didn't ask them, which they did it, but you knowing that should motivate you even more to just want to do it for the kid. I don't
right.
get it. I don't get it. And then you got these deadbeat dads that just want to jump shit.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Nah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
It is what it
yeah.
is. I'm a product of one, so I can talk about it. I'm a product of it of. I never met my dad, so I'm a product of that. See, I'm not like everybody else that know they dad is around the corner, or he just don't come around, but you know where he at. I don't know. I didn't know where he's at for years. For 35 years of my life, I didn't know nothing about him, if he was alive, dead, none of that.
Right, right, right,
So I can speak from that standpoint.
right.
But I'm not a bitter person, so I don't hold ill intent, ill will to the nigga. It's just I'm a product of that. So I know there's people just like me that are going that can't accept it. That's still going through fuck my dad, I hate this nigga. That's all a part of the child's life. It is. But at the end of the day, you parents gotta have patience, and gotta have, yeah, it takes patience. I remember my sister left me with my nephew, and I don't think my nephew was one yet. And she left me with him for like a week, which ain't nothing compared to like what a mother was. Oh, you only had a, but still, for 1 week, I had a baby that was less than 1 years old, probably a couple of months old. My sister had to do something, and I told her I'd watch him for a week. I did it before with my other niece, but just that week showed me that you just need patience. You gotta have patience, because you're gonna, like, it's frustrating by yourself.
It's easy for you to say, but
No, I'm not saying it's easy. See, you're not. See, you're making me make it seem like it's easy. I never said it was easy or hard. I'm
not
just saying you need patience.
not in that sense. I'm saying because we was just talking about shit. A baby is a bid. That's 18-year bid. So
Yeah, if you look at it that, see, you look at it like that when you don't want to have it.
we talked about that, right?
See, when
Okay.
you want to have kids, you don't look at it like that. But for the men that don't want kids, that's 18 years that he can't get back, and that's what he fighting. You
Well,
ever seen a nigga in the grocery store? You ever seen a nigga in the grocery store and he got the carriage and he got like one kid here, two in the stroller, and he just be like off in space?
he should have covered up. He
Because
should,
that moment he's looking at his life. He's not regretting nothing. It just hit him. Boom, it settled in.
he should cover up when he feeling that goodness. He should. That's what comes with it. So yeah, that same he should be thinking to himself, damn, I should after the
Listen,
second one, I
at the
should have.
end of the day, when no coverage happens, baby comes. Everybody's at fault.
So you know,
Because it's
anyhow,
like, I'm biased when it comes to coverage. Meaning, I always supply the coverage. But in my mind, it's just like me coming in the party with a gun. You supposed to check me to see if I have one or not. But women don't. So that's why I'm biased. Women should always be the initiator of coverage at all times. Because we're entering.
A
But it don't
child,
work that way. So
child is not a baby. It's the bigger part of you.
yeah,
No,
because you, Kareem, love your kids. Before a nigga who ain't want kids and who hate the baby mama, that child is a bid to him. That's 18 years. That's all he looking at, his finances.
yeah, yeah, you're
His
right.
finances. Because he don't really it like me, like I told Bond, there's a lot of men who don't want kids. So when the baby is there, they have to learn to love the kid. The baby's already there. They don't even have love for it like you think. A lot of people would think, oh, the father loved it. No, he don't.
It's the thought.
It's the thought. He has to really learn to love it. And then a lot of people want to act like it's now that's the truth. That's just the perception. Yeah. A perception of what? A perception of what? All I know is kids, most people don't plan for them. They don't get into bed and lay down and say, let's have a baby.
That's just a perception. We want to know of what? What is he saying,
He has
Coach?
to love himself first. Yes, yes, hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. But see, loving yourself has nothing to do with loving others. It's one way of thinking, but it's one way of thinking. I do believe a man must love himself in order to love others, but you got to realize that's not how it really works. It works for some things and some way of thinking, but there's plenty of people who only love themselves. Take me, for instance. I don't have kids because I love myself too much. I'm selfish.
Mm. And that's a proper way to put it without being savage.
So the guy's perception of seeing the child as a bit, oh, well, the guy, he's a cruff. He's a loser. That dude's a cruff. He's a loser. That's what he is. Any nigga that think like that is a loser, but that's how they think. It's a blessing for real. It is. I see. I don't. I have my reasons why I don't want kids, but the way I look at kids, it's like, yo, it's a blessing. I light up when I see kids. I love my niece and nephew when they were small, when they were little. I light up. I have no problem with people with kids or people having kids. I have no problem being a woman with kid, with one kid at least. But there are men there who look at it as a bid. Sorry to say, that's just the way they are. Very good talk tonight. Have a blessed night, fam. Bless.
Yo, Mike, I love you, man. Thank you for tuning
Childish
in.
understanding of life universal. It is, a child is, but I think more and more of us as black people need to stop playing house, stop shacking up and playing house and really being serious about the future. Because what we're trying to build here at Talk of the Town pertains to that. Pertains to the family value. Stop trying to play house and having kids just to have them. And now you're creating another single family household. They are the future, and they need both of us. They need both parents, both grandmas. They need uncles. They need aunts. They need both grandfathers. It. We come from that, so that's why we are entitled. That's why a lot of people that are like 40 and up feel like we were raised better because we come from a different way of being raised. And it's almost like we're trying to take the way we were being raised and instill it in the people, but some of the way we're being raised does not work anymore. Julie portraying this stigma. Yeah, so some of the way we being raised is not working anymore. But I feel, we need to get back to traditional value. Some of the traditions that we threw out the window, we need to get back to that for real, because it's sad. It is sad. Now they saying some of the kids can't read. They're reading at like third grade level in high school, and
Right.
it's just. And then they blaming the parents, and I'm one of them people. All the parents can't be bad. Some of these kids ain't fucking listening. Some of the teachers are bad. All the parents can't be impatient. Some because we know how it work. We're products of seeing it. We seen a nigga that grew up right from the hall from us. And while we were doing all the madness, he was in the same condition as us, getting straight A's, staying out of trouble. So we seen it can work, but it takes the village for it to work. It ain't gonna work without a community. We just gonna have more and more lost kids, more and more niggas playing house, niggas couch surfing, going from couch to couch, women with night, and they're not teaching our children all the right things to be. No, they're not. They're teaching our kids dumb shit. Like, I try to help my niece with math, and then they told my niece to tell me don't help her because I don't know what I'm doing. And I thought I was answering the questions right, which I was. It's just it's a new way of doing everything, and they're not teaching them nothing. They're not learning nothing. I was privileged. I went to KT Murphy magnet school. I went to Ripon magnet school. So I was privileged to have certain classes. We had check class and typing class. So, computer class. Yeah, to the point where now kids can't read. And then, and y'all know, I be like, sometimes I ask my niece, we joke, and I be like, when you get older, you're going to have to sign the back of a check in script. Do y'all do script? They don't even do that no more.
No, they
I don't
don't.
even think they can. And then the other day, just to see if I can do it, I went to see if I can read it still. Like, I went online and I was like, pull up a paragraph in script to see if I can still read. I can still read it. You can put a script paper in front of the
No, you
kids,
never lose it. You'll never lose it.
but you can put script in front of these kids now, bump, and it's like
Hieroglyphics.
hieroglyphs. They won't
It's,
even know what it is.
it's
The key to life
hieroglyphics.
could be right there, and they wouldn't know because they're not
This is
teaching
like,
it.
yo, me and Jarrell Crawford was talking about that. That's like
And the reason
hieroglyphics.
why I think that should be taught. When you get a check, you got to sign your name. You don't print. You got a signature.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah.
crazy. It's just, they blame the parents too much. I know I see the lack of parenting. They don't even teach us good writing, how to check, none of that. None of that. The greater side, because like Malcolm X said, unfortunately, we're not established as the 43 million. So we don't have black elementary schools with black teachers to teach us. We have to go to their schools, you know. Like, even though they're good schools, it's their schools. We can't teach our own how we want to teach our own, even about our history. They're taking our history out the school books to appease to the feelings of others. So, that's why this community thing is needed. Maybe we can build and make one of these, have the first black elementary school with black teachers and a black principal, so we can properly educate them and get them ready for the world. You know, get the boys ready for the world, get the women ready, because the world is a dangerous place. And we send them out there at 18. Those are things that people needed to create. Yeah, because we send them out at 18, you know, and at 18, they not ready. I wasn't ready at 18, 19, and 20. I was in the street. 19, I was living in Bridgeport, Schofield Avenue, right off of Fairfield. So I was going to PT every day. That was my life. That was my life at 19. PT. Wake up, let's go to PT. Let's go to PT Barnum and waste the whole day away. So at the end of the day, you got to realize that, you know, we got to show them a better way. But the schooling has to change. You know, we gotta be more hands-on. When they come home, we gotta start teaching them things and reading different type of books to them and putting them onto different type of literature and making them like proud to be who they are. 'Cause I
And
don't
yo,
know.
so to my guy Siraj, right? Even with us, we speak about the things that a lot of the youth or the up and coming may not know. That doesn't stop our teachings. That doesn't stop those who's making the comments to pull a kid or two to the side. A kid that you might find a liking in. A kid or two or three or a niece or nephew. Why don't we sit down and teach them these things? We don't have to do it as a whole. We could find somebody to sit down and put under our wing, or a person or two. And again, it could be kids outside the community. It could be a kid that you see popping woolies on his bike. You know, why we just,
Mentorship.
yeah, why we can't start to put these responsibilities in our own. You know, we always looking to put into other people's basket. Let's put fruit into our own basket, so it'll start to become, you know, our basket to start to overrun it, because that one fruit may shoot off a seed, or while we passing this fruit out, it might drop a seed in the basket. But then again, we don't know, because we doing so much. By the time we look like, oh, child, let the seed there, this shit then it started turning into something else. Like, let me pick this up and nurture it, care for it, and you know. So the things that we speak about also too, we want to come up with these solutions. So the same things that we speak when Coach and I speak, and we have people interacting in the super chat, take it amongst yourself. Like Siraj, you have a store. You know, you could start building your mentorship with people that you see coming in with their food stamp card from their mama, people that's coming in to get lunch meat or whatever, you know, to go to school. Pull that kid to the side. Start building with that kid, mentorship, you know. These are the things that will help a better community, build a better community when we take initiative amongst ourselves. So therefore, when we do come to Talking to Town, you guys can then be like, yo, excited, like, yo, I'm about to go on Talking to Town, like, yo, today I did this and doing that. I was able to see this, and I'm bringing it here to tell and show and prove. Like, so this is what we must do. We have to do this, you know? We can't always spit out what others need to do when it starts with self, you know. And I just wanted to say that, man. Like Coach was telling Mackie, where are you? You know, Bump is in North Carolina, so Talking to Town could be here while he's in Connecticut, while Mackie is in Kannapolis, while, you know, this person is.
Niggas in Kannapolis. Yeah, okay.
I know he's had to correct you on that, but
Grammy speech, man. We over time. I'm getting tired, bro. My back hurt. Got me sitting in the granny chair. You know I sit down at work all day too, bro.
was kicking your ass, man. That's why I ain't.
Hell yeah, my nigga. I be having to stand up and stretch these dumbass legs.
So, you know, I'm gonna let Coach get ready to wrap it up, and then
Basically, I want to say this. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We do have a Sunday show that's going to be on YouTube. It's not a men's mental health. It's more of a counterpart for men's mental health. For like when you going through stuff, you need a day of of unwind and relax, and that's what Sunday is about. But I think next week Sunday I want to talk about get back to the basics. I kind of want to talk about health, wealth, wellness, and wealth care and all of that stuff, and good and working out and gym routines and stuff like that. But I'm waiting for Bump to hit y'all with the slogan. It's me. Y'all already know what it is.
So again, we send our love to everybody that tapped in. We appreciate everything. You know what I'm saying? From the bottom of our heart. Um, remember, talk to the town is where it's at. Talk to us and we'll talk back. With that being said, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. Which one do you have? The more y'all fuck with us, the better off we become. With that being said, we love y'all. We thank y'all. Catch us on YouTube
Yo,
next week.
Kareem, a third night is pushing it, nigga. But we love y'all. Talk of the town. Talking about a third night. Kareem, you pushing it.
You don't know what it takes. This shit is a lot.
Nigga, hell yeah. I did just this show alone was going to take like 2 hours of editing. But I love y'all, yo.